They thought it was over for you, didn't they? They watched you fall. They saw you at your weakest moment. And they convinced themselves that it was the end. They assumed you wouldn't get back up, that this was your breaking point. But what they didn't realize is that your fall wasn't the end, it was only the beginning. The moment they wrote you off was the moment you started plotting your comeback. And now you're ready to rise, stronger, more focused, more powerful than ever before. This isn't the end of your story. No, this is where the real story begins. People often mistake silence for defeat. They think if you're not screaming, if you're not making noise, you must have given up. But the truth is, silence is where your power grows. In the quiet moments when no one is watching, that's when you've been rebuilding. They laughed when you hit rock bottom because they thought you'd stay there. But they forgot something critical. Rock bottom is the solid foundation on which you build. And you're building something so powerful, so unstoppable, they won't even recognize you when you emerge. The world loves to count people out when they stumble. But you're not the kind of person who stays down. You're not defined by your failures, you're defined by your refusal to quit. They thought they had you all figured out, but what they didn't realize is that you were just gathering strength, learning from your mistakes, and growing tougher skin. They saw you in your struggle, but they couldn't see the fire was lighting within you. They saw defeat, but you saw opportunity. Every failure, every setback was teaching you something new, sharpening your mind, hardening your resolve. Now here you are, standing at the edge of a new chapter, and they have no idea what's coming. They think they've seen the last of you, but you're just getting started. You've evolved. The version of you they knew no longer exists. You're not the same person who took the hits and stumbled. No, you've transformed into someone they won't even recognize. Someone who knows that victory doesn't come from avoiding failure, but from embracing it, learning from it, and turning it into fuel. And you've got a full tank. You see, the truth is, the greatest victories come after the hardest falls. The more you've been pushed down, the higher you'll rise. And that's exactly what's happening now. You're not here to prove them wrong, that's too small a goal. You're here to prove to yourself that nothing, and no one, can keep you down. You're here to rise beyond their expectations, beyond their limitations, because their opinions were never the final word on your life. You're the only one who gets to decide what you're capable of. They'll start to notice soon. They'll notice the change in your attitude, the fire in your eyes, the unwavering confidence that you now carry. They won't understand it at first. How could they? They're still stuck in their old ways of thinking, assuming you're the same person they once knew. But you're different now. You've been through the storm, and instead of breaking, you've become the storm. You've learned that you don't need to shout to be powerful. You don't need validation from others to know your worth. You've found strength in your solitude. And now that strength is about to make its presence known, the world is about to witness a version of you that they never saw coming. The one who doesn't play by their rules, who doesn't crumble under pressure, and who thrives in the face of adversity. The person who embraces every challenge as an opportunity to grow, who sees every obstacle as a stepping stone toward greatness. They thought you were done, but in reality, you were just getting started. You've only scratched the surface of your potential, and now it's time to dig deeper, push harder, and rise higher than anyone ever expected. And here's the thing, they'll try to come back. The same people who doubted you, who laughed at your setbacks, will try to return once they see your rise. They'll want to be part of your success, to claim they always believed in you. But you remember who they were when you were down. You remember the ones who turned their backs, the ones who counted you out. And you'll smile, not out of bitterness, but because you've learned one of life's most valuable lessons. You don't need anyone's permission to succeed. You don't need anyone's approval to rise. You are enough, all on your own. You've been through the fire, and now you're forged in steel. The version of you that emerges from this moment is someone who fears nothing, who understands that failure is part of the process, not the end of the road. You've developed the mindset of a champion, the resilience of someone who cannot be broken, no matter what life throws their way. You've seen the bottom, and now you're ready to climb to the top, not for them, but for you. So when they say you're done, smile to yourself. Let them believe it for now. Let them bask in their ignorance, because soon enough they'll see. You're not just bouncing back, you're coming back stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. And when you do, you'll realize something profound: their opinions never mattered in the first place. The only thing that ever mattered was your belief in yourself. And now, that belief is unshakable. They thought it was over for you, but they didn't know that this was just the warm-up. The real story is about to begin, and it's going to be a story of triumph, of rising from the ashes, of claiming what's rightfully yours. They thought you were done, but you're just getting started.